Welcome to our project. Our topic is plastic pollution, and we will be covering the manufacturing of plastic, the effects it has on wildlife, microplastics, and ways you can help.
Plastic isn't recent. Ancient Olmecs used sap from gum trees to make balls. But more recently, manufacturing methods have been discovered and used ever since. First, fossil fuels such as crude oil and natural gas are removed from the earth, providing a cheaper method than plastics from plants. Methane and propane molecules are extracted from these fossil fuels. Then the methane and propane are sent to a cracking plant to get converted into smaller molecules and become ethylene and propylene. After being mixed with a catalyst, these form a resin and become polyethylene and polypropylene. Now that the molecules can be properly molded under the right heat and pressure conditions, these resins are cooled and cut into tiny pieces called nurdles. These nurdles are sent to manufacturers, which convert them into different types of plastic products. Now, sure, this only seems to make what would later pollute, but it is manufacturing, and this also does pollute on its own, since the energy factories use are from burning fossil fuels, which releases more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, increases global warming, and the speed at which ecosystems are being destroyed.
Plastic pollution has increased a lot as we produce more plastics, and one of the places it most affects is the ocean. Over 17 billion pounds of plastic goes into the ocean each year. This is way too much, uh, and by 2050, plastics may outweigh fish in the ocean. Much of the plastic that goes into the ocean gets broken into microplastics, which is why you may not see huge plastic patches in the ocean. It is harmful to animals because much larger animals mistake plastic for food, and many fish swallow microplastics. This is really bad because one, the oceans are one of the most diverse ecosystems, and this is killing them. And two, as fish eat like microplastics, it goes up the food chain until eventually we eat them and we get those microplastics. Raising ocean acidity, which is killing coral reefs, um, and this is bad because they take in a lot of carbon. Um, and a lot of the plastic is going into the oceans because of human dumping and it's getting plastic is getting into rivers and being washed into the ocean. And landfill plastic from landfills is being flown into the ocean.
The production of plastic has doubled every decade since the 1950s, and because of this, there is such an overwhelming amount of plastic on Earth. Plastic also takes hundreds to thousands of years to break down completely. So instead of biodegrading, they reduce into microplastics, which are fragments of plastic, usually so small you can't see it. Microplastics get into our water, our soil, and therefore our food, and our clothes, and we ingest tens of thousands of microplastics annually. Microplastics in the ocean absorb and carry toxins and are mistaken for food by marine life, and it harms them.
How you can help. Luckily, all is not lost. There are many ways you can help save the oceans and the earth. For one, you can reduce how much single use plastic you use, as this is a major cause of plastic pollution. Two, you can try to buy biodegradable plastics. Three, pick up trash if you see it on the ground. Four, be more conscientious about how and what you recycle, as sadly only one-fifth of all recyclable materials gets recycled. Five, avoid single-use plastics as they are extremely bad for the environment. And finally, get plastics from a more eco-friendly source such as gum trees.
In conclusion, it is important to be aware of your plastic pollution, as it has become a major problem now. Now that you are aware of this, we hope you could help the earth and be careful of how much you contribute to this pollution.